Yo, y'all hear me, man? Y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Brownstone, Powwow, Bronzebird in the building. You dig? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, man. Let's get this popping. Shout outs to everybody in my chat. Shout outs to Andrew Charms, the cynical one. Going Huggins, it's nice to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. Check this out, fam. I was, I'm viewing life, right? So, I got a lot of shit going on, right? Like, I'm just looking at everything, things is coming along. All right, cool. I see you in the cynical one. Put a one in the chat. So, I was paying attention, on my spare day, looking at panels and stuff like that. And it was a couple of people that was making some points or whatever that, I was just viewing. And so, if you guys was paying attention to one of my shorts, I had talked about the difference between alone versus lonely, right? So I think it was some dude that was bringing in his conversation about alone and lonely today. And I just was like, a part of me disagrees with that because they're two different things, right? So this is what my breakdown was when it comes to the concept. No problem. This is the concept to what I was thinking about when it comes to alone versus lonely, right? So I said, lonely is embarked on emotions, right? So when you're lonely, you're barking on the fact of the matter that you don't have a companionship, but you're wishing for a companionship, but that's that's mixed in with the fact of the matter that you are experiencing a lot of emotions, usually sad or very like bad emotions and stuff like that. So you have a hard time getting along with yourself because of the fact of the matter you want a companionship for you to feel whole again, right? But when you are alone, you are a lone wolf, right? And what I mean by that when I say that is when you're alone, that's by choice. You want to be alone. See, this is the thing. You ever notice when you say in conversation, you say, leave me alone, or I want to be alone right now? You don't say to a person, leave me lonely, or leave me lonely right now. You don't say that to someone. You say to someone, leave me alone. I want to be separated from you for a reason. You understand? And so I'm just thinking about it and I'm just like, it's a lot of shit. This stream is going to be about the concept of alone versus lonely, but also just wrapping up 2022 in a rap show for me. It terms as everything I pretty much felt like I viewed on the YouTube streets. You know what I'm saying? This is just kind of for like my own entertainment, even though I don't agree with it being the rebirth of society until March. And I went over this in my stream last year when I had talked about what's the real springtime, what's the real renewal of the earth, what's the real January 1st, because January 1st is not the new year to me. The new year to me is in March. You understand? That's how I view the new year. Because even if you think from the psychological standpoint, and I remember it was some Greek gods or something I was supposed to review or whatever, I said it like this. I said, how could it be the new year in the dead of winter, right? We just entered the winter solstice, right? So if it's about approximately, the winter solstice started December the 22nd or 23rd. That's about 8 to 9 days that now we're claiming it's the new year. So no, I don't agree with that. Rebirth of life starts in the springtime. That means you spring up. Notice that the spring time and all this other stuff, you have to change back your clock and go move an hour ahead. But that's just a story for another day. So getting to my conversation about lonely versus alone, that was my concept. And I said it would be very essential for men, that say all these different things, to be alone right now, to be by themselves and be able to be in their own company before they go back out into the world, or specifically, since a lot of dudes in certain spaces love talking about this, dealing with another soul or dealing with another woman, right? And I know for sure this is a time of year like SAD comes in, seasonal affective disorder or seasonal affective depression. That's something I talked about last year. You know what I'm saying? I talked about that last year about seasonal affective disorder and seasonal affective depression. Because, you lose a lot of it, especially so-called black people. We don't have the vitamin D intake that we have in the winter sucks because we get less sun. So, us being the sun people, we're going to be more focused on staying indoors just like everybody else, whereas so-called white people are going to be traveling outside with, shorts on and Asics sneakers and, being fine and dandy, even coming outside in a t-shirt, which I don't understand. But this is my thing, man. This is my thing. I feel like a lot of people, judging off of things that I've seen on panels, discussions, and stuff like that, they don't know the concept of being alone. They know the concept of being lonely. Peace to 1Gs. They know the concept of being lonely. They know the concept of bragging on someone because they're lonely, right? When they have these conversations about shorties hitting the wall and then saying all this dumb shit like, oh yeah, she's going to be alone. She's going to have to get a dog or a cat and all this other stuff. Like, all right, I got you on that. And I believe certain you brothers is capping too, because you going to want to fuck on something when you really want to. You understand? But like I said, man, there's nothing wrong with a man being alone to himself. I did about maybe 3 videos this week. I actually dropped my 4th one today, about a couple of hours ago. Go check that out when you got the chance. But the reason I brought this up is because we got a lot of healing to do, right? I mean, I know that there's a lot of things going on, behind the scenes, 2023, the pandemic. And it's like, I don't even know how to feel, because it's like, is the pandemic over or is it still going on? Because even in my city right now, they have the strictest mandates in this nation, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Give people a chance to do what they want to do. You understand what I'm saying? We should be allowed to live the way we want to live and do what we have to do. Work the way we want to work without your jurisdictions on telling us how we should work. Fuck that. Piece of Sexy Red. So my thing is, it's just really weird to me when, I have certain people have conversations and they talk and they just be like, oh, alone versus lonely. And I said, this is a concept a lot of y'all don't understand. I want to ask y'all a question. Can y'all really be alone by yourselves for 24 hours without contacting other individuals, contacting your parents, contacting your friends? Can you take yourself out on a date? Can you take yourself somewhere by yourself and enjoy your own company before you enjoy somebody else's? That's the question I have to pose to a lot of dudes that I'm seeing around have conversations. I mean, even loosely the women. These are conversations that you need to think about, man. Can you enjoy your own company without the presence of another person being there? You understand? Because even when the pandemic first began, this was a telltale sign of how it was with certain people. Marriages fell apart. Why? Because you had to be around each other more. Things fell to shit. Why? Because the fact of the matter, you had to deal with children being in your house all goddamn day long. If you had the money and you had the people cleaning up your house, you had a maid, you had a housekeeper and all this other stuff, you had the parents and all that other stuff, how were you able to get along with your child then? Were you able to get along with your child? Was you able to sit up there and partake in a kid being a kid because of the pandemic? And a lot of people went crazy. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't deal with the reality of situations because they had to be around each other all fucking day. Couldn't go outside, couldn't move unless you was an essential worker. You had to stay around each other, basically deal with everybody's shit. You understand? So that's why I say, the concept of alone versus lonely, I want to bring it to the center stage. I mean, and this is something for y'all to think about on the playback, in the chat, anywhere y'all listening, even Ghost Watchers, y'all that's listening right now. This is a concept that you guys should think about. Lonely versus alone. Like even people who brag on these sites about relationships and, women hitting the wall. I seen you brothers sitting up there talking about that low life bitch, Brittany Renner, I'm sorry, and her having a debate with Andrew Tate. I don't care about that nonsense. I don't care. But the whole entire concept is a lot of people talk a good game, but you have yourself to look at in the mirror at the end of the day. You the one that got to wash your own ass. You the one that has to look at yourself in the mirror when you brush your teeth and you put on your makeup and and I'm talking just in general, when you put on your makeup and you when you fixing yourself to go outside in the world. You are the one. Ain't nobody else doing that shit but you. You understand? So many people I didn't have conversations with, they want to take my energy. They want to sit up there and be like, yo, Bronzebird. You know what I mean? They be like, I don't want to be alone and blah, blah, blah and all this other stuff. I said, what's the problem with being alone? I do it all the time. I have no problem being by myself. Of course, like I got to be careful. I got to, watch my surroundings and all this other stuff. But what's the problem with being alone? What's the problem with that? You know what I'm saying? What is the problem with being alone? I'm going to read some of y'all comments before I continue, because then I'm going to get into my idea about how this year went in terms of the YouTube streets, since I'm on YouTube talking to you guys, right? So Cynical One is throwing darts in my chat right now. Shout outs to the Cynical One, because she be dropping jewels. Shout outs to you. You know what I'm saying? And then you had some couples making use of the alone time and popping up some pandemic babies. Yeah, it was a lot of breeding going on during the pandemic. Had some pandemic babies. You understand? And then you had some people trolling overtime. Of course. I rarely hear dudes talking about dudes hitting the wall. And to that point, because that'd be a conversation talking about the biological clock ticking, and that women, when they reach a certain age, they don't have the same youthful look to them anymore. So that basically means that they don't look as pretty as they used to. The titties start sagging, the face starts getting crow feet, and then certain shorties don't look nice in their 40s and 50s. And I mean, listen. To the contrary, I'll say this out here. I'll take the bait for it. You can say whatever you like about Bronzebird, but I've seen some badass, some fine ass women that's in their 40s and 50s. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, that bitch is fine as fuck, bro. Shit. And nowadays, you getting them women on there that's going on Instagram. They out there they don't do thirst trap photos like how a lot of the 20s, and I want to say loosely the early 30s women is doing it now. You know what I'm saying? They more graceful, exquisite, and all this other stuff when they start to do the whole entire thirst trap and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like they doing thirst trap. They just taking photos. But listen, these grandmothers, these gilfs, shit, nigga. It's the winter time. I need me some nice sweet potato pie, some mac and cheese, some goddamn collard greens and stuff like that cooked up for the boy. You understand? You know what I mean? Once I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? Take care of a brother. You understand? But mainly my thought processes, I just wanted to bring that to the table about, the whole thing about lonely versus alone concept. Because, a lot of people, regardless of your financial status too, whether you have a lot of money or you don't have a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? The problem is a lot of people don't want to know knowledge of self. They don't want to understand that, if you can't be comfortable with yourself, how are you going to be comfortable with somebody else? Or like the elusive line they used to always say, shout outs to Lauryn Hill. How you gonna win when you ain't right within? How you gonna win when you ain't right within? How you gonna win when you ain't right within? Come again. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? And, also why I wanted to bring this up is because this week I've been seeing the deaths of a lot of so-called black men. One of the Marley sons just passed away at 31 years old. You know what I mean? That's very young. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like 30s, I don't consider old. I think 30s is like mid-age. You know what I mean? But to die at like 31 years old, god damn. And then I had talked about Twitch, the Stephen Boss dude, that he had deleted himself at 40 or 41 years old. And then I had found out last night that Sinful P passed away. And on top of that, there's about Kanye West is apparently missing, and then the onlyest, whatever the hell his name is, London, is up missing. So that had me getting to thinking about so-called black men in general. And as terms of Sinful P, I don't know Sinful P. I don't really know his content like that. All I heard was that he's a pimp, supposedly. I don't know Sinful P like that. You know what I'm saying? I never knew about. I mean, let me not say never. I knew about him. I watched some of his content, You know what I'm saying? Like, he just seemed like an entertaining dude. But, you know, I don't really know Sinful of P. But, of course, you know, send my condolences. Which makes me think as well, shout outs to Wacky, I was thinking about the health of so-called black men. I was. I was thinking about the mental health of so-called black men, and I was thinking about the health of so-called black men. I was. I mean, like, look at how many dudes we lost this year. We lost Kevin Samuels. We lost. Help me out in the chat, y'all. Who else we lost as black men this year? You know, Kevin Samuels was one, and then there was a couple of other dudes that we lost this year. Oh, Allen, Roger Curry. You know what I'm saying? We just lost ARC a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? We lost a couple of brothers this year, and so that got me thinking. Besides the health issues that brothers is experiencing, you know, we do, and I hope brothers do this, or I'm gonna do it. We're gonna talk about the health aspect too, because we need to get back on the game. You know what I'm saying? Especially taking care of ourselves. Health is wealth. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of us brothers, we suffer from eating stupid shit. Because right now, I'll tell you, I'm eating stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't pay attention, and, you know, we have this whole entire thing, we don't get up our doctor visits or try to at least stay informed and exercise and really read the ingredients that we getting from these stores. That's why we got the whole entire game fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm aware America does service a lot of food with a lot of carcinogenics. I do know that. Even the water supply that we have is shit too, because it's like, you know, it's bad water and stuff like that. I get that, but even still, health is wealth. You know, and for brothers to be dying, you know, only in their 50s, it's like, nah, man, that's not even close to the geriatric age when it comes to retirement. Even though I feel like by the state's laws and by America, they probably gonna push the retirement age to be 70. Because right now, people ain't surviving off of 65 with a retirement fund. They're not surviving off of that. They're not surviving off of retirement with what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They can't retire, so they have to work into their 70s and their 80s. You know what I mean? And it's a shame, bro. You should be able to live the fruits of your labors throughout your life, not having to be dependent on a 9 to 5, and you only get to travel when you have vacation time. Which is the reason I'm getting sick and tired of workforce as it is, because it's like, bro, what is the point of this? You know what I mean? But that's me ranting for another day. But I was saying, like, we lost those brothers this year. You know what I'm saying? And my thing about it is, even if I agree with them or not, it's just not cool to see another so-called black man dying. You know what I'm saying? And especially when we give awareness to a lot of the mental health aspects that's happening with our young brothers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes out here that's like losing themselves because they don't view life as valuable. You know what I mean? And especially if it's too much of the brothers that's getting into the rabbit hole of being an incel. That's the number one thing that bugs me. Because ain't nobody in this world, bro. I don't give a fuck. You can tell me different. I keep it real. My thing is, at the end of the day, each and every dude out here has no problem getting women if they put their minds to it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. A lot of dudes get caught up on this internet shit. And, you know, even when I broke the story about Andre Biggs, I think that's his name, that was involved in the Chesapeake, Virginia shooting, you know, the whole entire thing is that they scream out, I need a woman, I need a woman, I need a woman, I'm misunderstood. And I said, yo, it got to be more to life than that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's a real sentimental value where you find men being able to congregate and have conversations about how they feeling, to have their own therapy sessions and be able to sit down, talk man to man without arguments, without doing dumb shit, without focusing on the women all the time and how you a Mac and how you a pimp and how you this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? And actually have real wholesome conversations about how you feeling. Because when I did this work when I was outside, you know what I'm saying? When I was going ahead and going to these different places, I was letting off exactly the things that I'm going through, as well as trying to communicate with fellow men to see how they was doing. That's what I was doing. And my thing is, at the end of the day, those brothers could have been saved, man. I mean, I'm talking about the brothers because they could have recognized the health more, and the brothers that deleted themselves. They could have been talked to, man. And, you know, my thing is, what I was saying, and I'm gonna get into my segment. I'm gonna get into my segment talking about my year in review about 2022. Cause like I told people, I fucking hate it this year. I'll be the first to tell you that I fucking hate it this year. You know what I'm saying? Don't like, I know people from my last live, they was like, yo, Bronzebird, you okay? And this, that, and third. I'm good. Look, listen, nobody can knock down Bronzebird except Bronzebird. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Baloo in the chat. What's good with you, bro? But I told people, every time, every time someone voices their opinion, they could just speak how they feel. It doesn't mean like they're going through a dramatic event or life is rough, but you just be real. You know what I'm saying? This year was shit for Bronzebird. I hated this year. I fucking hated it. Am I glad it's over? I don't even care. It is what it is. But 2022 was just, it wasn't my year. You know what I mean? I didn't like it. I didn't like 2022. Shout out to Brownie. You know what I mean? I didn't like it. It is what it is. But let me just read a Cynical's comment real quick. There are a lot of men who are begging women, regardless of race, education, income, physical appearance, and personality. If they're going through hoops to even deal with a woman, their personality must be shit. Now, I'm gonna keep that in the back of my head, Cynical One, because this is when I'm gonna get into my conversation about my year in review, right? So, all right. First and foremost, I want to tell everybody thank you for tuning into the Brownstone Powwow every week. I celebrated my first year anniversary around March or April. No, it was April 1st. We had a good time. There's been a lot of ups and downs with the Brownstone Powwow. You know what I'm saying? It's been a glorious moment. I've got my game up on doing the graphics. You know what I mean? I got more in store for 2023 because I got some stuff going on. Just some stuff to handle and things like that. So this is the thing. This is something that I've been inferring this whole entire year on this YouTube journey. You know what I'm saying? Besides doing my videos, trying to figure out the algorithms and all these different things. Like, it's cool. It's exciting. You know what I mean? And, I'm used to always giving my opinion before I was even on YouTube as Bronzebird. You know what I'm saying? I was already giving my opinions on stuff like that. I've always been a controversial dude. I've always been one that expresses everything that's on his mind, right? That's always been me. So this year in review, I guess, shout out to my homie. We was just chatting about this, talking about the black YouTube. It's funny how things started off this year. You know what I'm saying? I think that, there's definitely some particular nonsense that went on the internet. You know what I mean? People who, have this big bravado on these screens and they be like, yeah, nigga, that's me, and da-da-da. That's not you, my mans. And one thing I really do have to say is a lot of these cats that get up on these platforms or have these big ass bravados, they be like, yeah, this is me, but you lose your shit when a woman is around. That's facts. You lose your shit when a woman is around, fam. You do. The dudes that talk all this big game, they be like, yo, this is me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You lose your shit when a woman is around. I've said that. I've been very transparent on not giving a fuck and really saying that shit straight up. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? That's me and my shit. Everybody who knows Bronzebird knows how gullible and how disrespectful I can get and how blunt I am, right? But my thing is, a lot of you dudes showed y'all asses this year. Y'all showed y'all asses this year. And I'm going to load up this comment one more time. And I'm going to read it one more time. There are a lot of men who are begging women, regardless of race, education, income, physical appearance, and personality. If they're going through hoops to even deal with a woman, their personality must be shit. And, to that point, right? I've seen a lot of dudes. I've seen the grifters. Let's just say that. I've seen the grifters, right? I touched on it this year. I've seen the whole entire different women that came in and they've been like, yo, I'm here for the men's. I'm here for the men's. I'm here for the men's. Detected the shit in February. January was like the lapse, type of reckoning and all that other stuff. But I really discovered it in February. Had some light skin and brown skin broads that started coming through on these networks. And, all of a sudden, their whole entire thing is the Bible this, the Bible that. Start up that YouTube channel. All of a sudden, they talking about their real life experiences and crying on the camera. Oh, I don't have a lot. I need to do this. I need to do that. You feel what I'm saying? They come along, they doing their content. They be like, yeah, I know such and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. Homeboy passes away. They start getting into prominence. And then all these different things happen, right? I seen these deceiving ass bitches that sit up there and talk about, oh, I'm red pill, I'm this, I'm that. Bitch, you're not red pill. Sorry. You're not red pill. You're not even close to understanding what red pill is. And this is not because dudes come up on these channels talking about I'm red pill this, I'm red pill that. You know what I'm saying? You're not red pill. You're a grifter. You were gifted in. You were grifted in. No, you came in based off of someone who repeated the talking points of somebody else's talking points way before I even came in. That's why you're here. And you've made a whole entire critical acclaim fame off of that person. You are not genuine. I've said that time and time again. Niggas didn't listen to me. Niggas was just like, yo, Bronzebird, you hating. I'm not hating. I've seen you dudes collect thousands and 10,000s of views off this person. I've seen y'all sit up there talk about, oh, she's so attractive, she's so this and she's so that. Okay, that's cool. The other women did it too. They was chasing the bag just like she did. And the funny thing is, I've been called out the bullshit since earlier this year. It wasn't until somebody called that chick out, now you dudes want to sit up there and talk about, yo, what happened? Yo, she's fake. She ain't really for the men's. She was never for the men's, my mans. When did you ever pay attention to what she was saying? You notice that when it came to her talking about Bible scriptures, she wasn't confident in talking about Bible scriptures? What's your real walk with God then? Huh? What's your real motive when you bring up those Bible scriptures? Because anybody can sit up there and look at a Bible, get a verse or get a scripture that makes sense to them, and then tell the whole entire world exactly what they think of that scripture details or what it means. You're no different. And my thing about it is that this is the same chick that decided to come up with a dating show. You understand? And then you hopeless ass Negroes, because it was mostly a lot of you Negroes that was going over there. You decided to go over there and get dating advice from someone who's not in the league to have a dating advice show. And when you looked at the format that this person took in order to make that whole entire dating show, it was the same shit that the homeboy did when he was around, when he was talking about strags. Women that was probably in their 30s, not even in their 30s, more or less in their 40s and 50s. Trying to get advice on how to get what or who. A high value man. Right? Remember we had that conversation about the high value man? And you niggas took it and run with it? You Negroes out there talking about, I'm a high value man. Like, yo, bruh. Ain't no money in the world is going to change a woman. Excuse me. That's not the right thing to say. Nothing in this world that you do is going to change the modern woman. I'm just being honest with you. And, you know, a lot of you cats, you know, and especially y'all didn't see that homeboy sat up there and grifted you niggas too? You didn't see that he basically wanted to give you consultations. I was about to say croissant out of nowhere. He wanted to give you consultations about how it is to be an upstanding citizen and all this other stuff. An upstanding black man. We need to change our image, which is something I'm not against. I'm not against that. So don't think that I'm mocking it when I'm saying that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a clean up dude or you should clean up nicely, but I don't agree with the fact of the matter you have to be Mr. Suit and Tie all the time in order to get a woman's attention. And this is why I say the difference between alone versus lonely is a very good concept when I bring this in. Why do I say that? Because the thing about it is when you're a lone wolf or alone, you don't depend on anybody else's value because you value yourself. But when you're lonely, you have to find validation through other people. And that dude grifted y'all. I didn't see how some of you cats on here make y'all streams and y'all sit up there and talk about modern women all day and stuff like that. And then, you know, you the same cats that went over to that consultation talking about, you know, how do I score the women? How do I wear this? How do I appear to be a high value man? That's what you dudes was on. Piece it together. That's what you dudes was on. I told people and I tell everybody this at the end of the day. I need nobody to validate Bronzebird. Bronzebird validates Bronzebird. I need no one to tell me who I am. I need no one to tell me how I should dress when I go to different places. When you a man of wisdom and a man of self, you don't need nobody to tell you anything. Which proves a lot of you cats like to be coddled because you care what the fuck the modern day woman thinks about you. You understand? And that woman is no different. You know what I'm saying? When she started getting all sisterhood and she started getting all out of whack and started just getting all, PTSD and, nervous because the pressure was applied on her, guess what you dudes did? Sat there and was calling us names. We called you motherfuckers simps because you sounded like one. You acted like one. You went on the stream and acted like a straight bitch like one. And you mad at us? You guys showed your ass. You niggas showed y'all asses on that stream, not us. We sat up there and we sat back and said, we not allowing this shit. You a simp, bro. Fuck is you talking about? And you gave that shorty cred. And now look. Shorty not even coming around no more. That's what you dudes did. You understand that? But my thing is, what makes you think you should be taking advice from a woman like that? And short, wait a minute. First of all, shorty is already up there. This is the type of women you say you don't like. You don't like these type of women, right? You would label her a strag. She hit the wall, right? That's what you said. Then on top of that, right? My thing is, y'all get on here and then y'all want to talk about y'all personal lives. Y'all want to sit up there and talk about it's been hard for me. I've been trying to figure it out and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And I said, bro, it's crazy because this is the same shorty that would stop a stream to sit here and talk about, I'm not doing anymore. I'm not continuing on with the show until you send me cash apps. This is the bitch that you allowed to sit up there and think that she has some plausible moments in having a conversation. Are you fucking kidding me? The bitch didn't even want to continue the goddamn stream until you niggas sent cash apps in. Was talking about I need new nails. Bitches, you crazy? You and then this is the same chick that sat there and said she's for black men. What are y'all on? Can y'all help me understand this shit? This is the type of shit you niggas sat there and said to us. They sat there and went on another network and said to people, I care about black men because she brought up one of her family members. That's what this whole entire year was like. This year was a clown show. See, the problem is a lot of you so-called black men that's on this platform, and believe you me, just because I get passionate like this doesn't mean I take it seriously. It's just enjoyable to see the hypocrisy of a lot of you dudes preaching what you preach. It's just funny to me. That's why I laugh. Because I believe a majority of y'all is full of shit. This woman lied to y'all, fam. And then on top of that, y'all scaping around trying to figure out who's in what space is this, what space is that. Then, the fact of the matter is, y'all doing reviews of people who's stealing your talking points, created a whole entire network off of it. And then now, y'all gear back and say they're not a part of the space. Then some of y'all are saying they are a part of the space. And look, listen, I don't got nothing against them dudes. I think at the end of the day, hey, get your money, man. YouTube is a business. Everybody try and make it out here. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel if you're watching in the background because I have dope material. Do I deserve 1K of subscribers? Absolutely. I will put that out in the universe. I deserve more because of what I talk about. I don't care about all this other shit that y'all be talking about, but I do deserve it. You understand? But going back to this, I'm not mad at the brothers. I'm not mad at the brothers because it seems like it's something that's great. So-called black man creates a network so that he could put other people on, and they're getting paid from this just like how he's getting paid from it. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot of hard work to do what you have to do. Yes, I think I absolutely deserve 100K. I will say that. I deserve 100K for my content and what I talk about. How real I keep it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. But even going on with that, the one thing I can't convince anybody about, but I'm just giving my analysis on this. One thing that puzzles me about certain brothers on this platform is that These guys will have conversations day in and day out, right? They say the modern woman is a problem. The modern woman, the modern woman. There's two particular so-called black men that I'll put in the category when it comes to this. Number one, passport bros. Passport bros I've had a problem with because, I mean, I like passport bros. I don't say that a man shouldn't travel, especially black men. If we're like the lowest population of men carrying passports, get your passport. Definitely get your passport. Be careful when you go out to other countries, though. And like I tell people all the time, it should not be primarily on women. Do business out there as well. Make yourself rich. If the dollar can stretch more in another country, make that dollar stretch. Do it. I already seen a so-called black woman on Instagram that's talking about Airbnbs in Colombia. And to be honest with you, I think that, whew, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to stop for 1 second. That girl is fine. God damn, dark skin, got the curly hair. God damn, that chick is fine. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, do business while you out there. You know what I'm saying? That's something I've always advocated for. But it's very questionable when certain brothers want to come on panels and talk about, oh, I'm red pill, which is something I'm going to get into too before, I stop doing the stream. Dudes that talk about I'm passport bros, but I can see you going up on panels just to talk about the Keishas, the quote unquote Keishas, and the undesirable women back in America. It's like I told dudes, it's like you basically made your bed, sleep in it. You gonna go to another country to meet another woman? Go stay out there then. Go talk about her. There's no reason why you need to come back here and talk about the women over here in the Western world. No reason for it. And a lot of you dudes got a wake-up call too. Because you thought chicks in the UK was proper and dandy. Them bitches is crazy too. UK chicks is just as ratchet as American women, if you gonna say that, bro. And that shows you, bro, no matter where you go, there's always gonna be a bad and a good balance to everything. The cultures may be different, but at the same time, the mentality may be the same. You understand? Peep game on that. No, that's one of y'all that I really wanted to touch on. But I'm not against passport bros. I'm not against passport bros at all. And one thing I'll also say too, I find it homoerotic that, you have certain cats on here who make it their daily business, peso man, who make it their business to talk about passport bros and talk about men all day. And talk about you quote unquote don't get bitches. Don't you think it's a little bit odd as a grown man to be focusing on younger men and talking about men who decide to get their passports to even travel for pussy? Find that a little bit weird, bro. You and your friend is a little bit of weirdos. Shout outs to y'all though. Y'all are weird. So the next dudes that I want to talk about, and I think I forgot the other so-called black. Oh yeah, I got it now. See, the thing about it is, maybe it's just me. Maybe because I have a very just nonsense attitude to things, and because shout outs to I'll give credit where credit is due for this, because I didn't really know about this word until somebody brought it up. I'm gonna give a shout out to Shaka Nulu, because he is the one that implanted in my mind about this word called a misanthrope, and I really started realizing this is exactly how my personality is. And it's not like y'all in my chat, I rock with y'all, right? Anybody who watches the Brownstone Powwow, watch me go live stream, rant like this, I appreciate every single last one of y'all. But I really do start to realize that a lot of people in this society are fucking dumb. And I start to really dislike a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because they just say stupid shit just for the sake of saying stupid shit, or to make it seem like they're scholars. So you get these streams of brothers I wouldn't even just say that's middle age or, approaching their 50s. I'm not going to say that. But brothers will get on these panels and they'll get on these panels and say, you modern women need to change your ways. I'm tired about how you talk about black men, and the way that you talk about us is not cool, sister. You need to change. That's not right. That's not right. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, you really think these strags and these dumb bitches is going to change for you? These divestors, these dumbass bitches that spend 7 to 8 hours on panels talking shit about you black men, you think these bitches is going to change? I mean, I've already knew the game, fam. I already knew. I was like, yo, they not gonna change. All I'm saying is, if you have that much vitriol for black men, get a fucking gun and put us all 6 feet deep then. Be what you're worried about. You say, we bullet bags, right? So why are you not copping a gun right now and shooting every black man you see there? Why are you not doing that? You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that I be saying. And when I pull their cars, they be like, oh my God, Bronzebird, you're psycho. You're crazy. Blah, blah, blah. And now I can bring it to this. Bring it back to, what was that line that Tupac said in Juice? He sat up there and said, I am crazy. And I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you, like, that's all I've ever said. I said, if you have that many problems with so-called black men to the point you wish death upon us, why don't you start doing the death then? Lead the revolution. You don't care about us, right? You don't want to see us alive, so go ahead and do the same thing you would say. Say the same thing you say to your father. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not wasting my time having a conversation on it. And you know, subconsciously, that you can't get their attention. They might view your video. They might be listening to you. But you know that a large amount of your audience is going to be fellow men that's going to harp on these panels talking about the same shit you're talking about, and nothing's going to change. You know that. Nothing's going to change from this situation, so why try, right? But who am I to say anything? I'm a content creator just like you. So I can't really stand back and say, you shouldn't talk about that, because then that would be me saying that you shouldn't make content like that, and you can tell me don't make content the way you make content, Bronzebird. And I'd be like, okay, fair dealings. Fair deal. I can't do it, you can't do it either. But that would be wrong. That's me encroaching on your intellectual property, which I don't want to do. I don't want to do that. So you got that. And to end off the year, right? To end off the year, and I constantly complain about this, because I never will stop complaining about it, because I just do. I'm an asshole, and I just don't give a fuck most of the time. I don't care. So my thing is, what is so concerning is, number one, I'm not mad at the brothers that want to speak to the modern day woman and, you know, pretty much be an ASMR panty dropper for these women and say, you know, us men have done wrong, but if you believe in me, I can tell you what the game is so that you can get into these men's minds so they can learn right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, you know, a divorce comes up and he's with a new chick. All these dudes start focusing on the celeb gossip and all this bullshit move, but then they want to talk about, you know, we the manosphere and this, that, and the third. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're just about celeb and gossip. I'm talking about them, but I'm talking about these dudes in particular now. Stay with me. So the thing about it is, I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them for being grifters, because it's the same thing that happens on our side when it comes to the women that speak on behalf of you men. And then some of them are lying, are in competition with each other, creating beefs, and you love that shit. Because these women are catfight amongst each other and then sit up there and brag about, I'm really here for the men. No, I'm here for the men. No, I'm here for the men. No, I'm here for the men. Then some of them slip up and they say out their mouth, they said, why you didn't get my OnlyFans? Why? Do you realize I'm getting money from this stream? Okay, full of shit, both of y'all. Both of y'all full of shit. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly, I'm like, so that's why I'm not mad at the dudes that do it. And as fellow man, you shouldn't be either. Of course you're going to have the panty droppers, R&B niggas that's going to go ahead and pander to these women, even if they have fucked up, brashed up ways and all this other stuff, because it's about marketing, right? Remember what we said, YouTube is a business. So you're going to get cake off of sitting up there gassing up the egos of those Keishas, right? The quote-unquote Keishas or the Rachianas, right? The Strags, the ones that talk all this shit all day, right? They're going to get a bag off of that. But there's dudes that are just strictly panelists, or they might have just started up a channel. I like getting at them because I know how much of a bitch that they are. They are very bitch made. Shout out to Jay Donovan. They are very bitch made. And in 2023, I have no problem still exposing it, still saying it, saying what I want, and because it needs to be said. It's a telltale sign on how you dudes act. It's funny how these would be the same cats that want to tell you how to be a man, but you need the validation of a woman to make the opinion that you're making. You understand what I'm saying? But when an asshole like me comes around and I'm sitting there challenging you on your points, You ain't got nothing to say. And to the dude that probably never listens to my panels, never listens to my streams, and it's cool. If you don't listen to it, let this be for the playback. Whenever I get my 100K subscribers, you're going to see one day what I'm talking about. You, my friend, you... That's facts. That's facts. But the problem with dudes like you is that you're not confident. And I know not because of your age being a telltale sign, because I do think you're very young. I don't think you are middle age in your 40s or 50s. You have to be in your 20s. You have to be. I think you are. But some of you cats out here are not confident, and it shows. Now, I've seen certain cats get up on panels and, vouch for the women that's being disrespectful. I might call a woman a bitch right on a panel to her face and not give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like, yeah, you a bitch and you a strag. I don't care. Fuck you and your family type shit. That's how raw I am, right? But you dudes that want to come back at us, I need you to be on your P's and Q's in 2023. If all that stuff you talking, if you want to hold us accountable and you're saying specifically black men need to be accountable, then why aren't you being accountable for your actions then? Because there's at least two of y'all I done bumped into that's been on this type of wave, right? One of you dudes want to be able to say, well, y'all out here looking embarrassing and this, that, and the third. When have you had conversations about how disrespectful fellow man and fellow woman has been towards us as so-called black men who think and have respect for the nation, but we're not going to be disrespected by our own people? When have you jumped out the woodwork and actually understood exactly where we're coming from? Ever. Where have you been? Yet you want to make it your plan and your mission to go ahead and say, we're the bad guys, though. See, if I said something about the malpractice that happens with so-called black women and I made a mockery off of that shit, you would hate me. But those that agree that black men should be bullet bags, that we shouldn't be born, the next generation of so-called black men should not be born. Oh, there's no smoke for that. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that about us. You know what I mean? Because that involves me too, and I got a child, and I want to see my child have another child. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the different things that you brothers skip on. Sorry, I'm getting my joint. But those are the different things that you brothers skip on, right? And specifically this young cat, this young buck, I could tell you not confident because you need other people to fight your battles. And I've seen a lot of these cats, a lot of these little grifters, a lot of these these young so-called black boys, they in their 20s or something like that. They're impressionable. They decide to get these women up on their panel to talk shit about black men all day long and da-da-da, this, that, and the third. And when you as a man want to go ahead and challenge them on their point, they want to block you from the chat. They don't want you to get on a panel. If you get on a panel, they want to mute you. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. That doesn't exhibit manly traits. And I know we talking on the web, we talking about the stuff, but if you going to exclaim this whole entire point about being a man and being manly, then it shouldn't be a problem for you to say, hey, yo, ladies, look, y'all gonna have to get off the panel right now. Men are talking right now. This is man to man shit. I don't need you being in the middle of our conversation. I need to talk to him man to man because he's challenging me. Where you cats at? And again, I know some of y'all did it for the bag. That's why I just sit back and I said, I ain't gonna knock you if you gonna do it for the bag, but certain you cats ain't doing it for the bag. Y'all doing it because this is really how you feel. Then you get mad because you get called a coon. You get mad because you get called a race baiter. And my thing is, I think it's very asinine that you would have a group of people that talk shit about you as a black man and you sit back and you just co-sign it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It just makes me just be like, I don't understand what your wavelength is. It's like you're borderline retarded. Like, you're going to allow for someone to basically talk shit about you and you co-sign it because another person is actually standing to the fire and saying, no, I don't accept this. We're the enemies now because I'm the one that's telling them this is not acceptable. Like, we're the ones that's wrong, though. You know what I'm saying? This is why I don't get exactly the motives behind the things that they do. And again, this is social media. Don't think for 1 second I'm taking this serious. This is more like a critique for me. Because even in real life, I have no problems calling the motherfucker out right there. The way that I act on YouTube is the same way I act in real life. More reserved though. But at the same time, you dudes are doing nothing to change the paradigm. That's why I stopped having conversations with a lot of pro-blacks and Pan-Africans. I did. I stopped having conversations with them. Because every which way of the world, they offer no pushback to man who's thinking with logic and gets out the rabbit hole. Am I saying it's wrong for y'all to be pro-black and Pan-Africans? I'm not saying that. But imagine I have to roll around with a Umar Johnson. You don't think I'm going to become increasingly insane? You don't think that I'm going to start becoming annoyed and start saying, yo, bro, if you do not get that goddamn RGB flag the fuck out my face right now, I swear to you. You know what I'm saying? I swear to you, yo. Get that goddamn flag out my face while I'm talking. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. So, you dudes are not manly. Shout outs to Jason. You dudes are not manly. You dudes do not deserve to have a conversation on us at all. If you cannot be challenged, if you cannot bring up sufficient evidence to prove your case, you cannot talk to us. You can't sit at the same table as us. And as quoted from this nice song that I like, musical chairs, y'all can't sit here. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say on that. But otherwise than that, it's been pretty enjoyable watch 2022 unfold. You know, seeing like, what else did I see that was pretty funny? Like seeing these dudes give their heart out on these goddamn super chats because certain shorties have the voice of an ASMR candidate. Dudes out here, shout outs to Blue. Dudes out here getting all excited because the shorty have a nice voice and shit and talking about, I'm gonna fly you out because I'm a high value man. I didn't see it, man. Like, I mean, how far do y'all go is the point, right? Because it's like, yo, none of these bitches is gonna see you in real life, fam. Have you not picked up on that motherfucking reality yet? Have you? I'm really concerned about that. Because, I mean, like, look, these chicks is going to make the bag just like other chicks make the bag. And this is one thing I got to say that's now on my mind now that I think about it. Because, I mean, I'll go to my other shit before I get on out of here. What you realize now is a lot of you men are asking for a male-dominated space. But the opinions change when a woman comes in. Now, if you dudes are saying you want this to be a man's only space, can't allow women in. You can't. You can't do that. You guys are saying that you want a male-dominated space. So why allow women inside the space? This is what you're saying. And I'm not going to even just say in particular something like the manosphere or, you know, MGTOW, it'd be more, whatever it is. I'm not even just saying just y'all. Because I've even seen the gaming spaces where a lot of these white dudes play video games all day. You know what I mean? They get their numbers up. They get their subscribers. Couple of these girls come in. And yeah, they're attractive. I'll give them that. That's without say. But these bitches is taking their clothes off. They got on the Victoria's Secret bra and panties on. They out here creating these weirdo ass little feminine voices. I even seen this one random chick that has a pigeon head. I have a bird head on her, and she's sitting up there flapping like she got wings. Bent over on her bed, and she's supposed to be a gaming content creator. You can't complain now. You can't get mad at the simps that's gonna pay for it because you allowed this shit to happen. If you guys stood your ground, which you can, you could have told those chicks, yo, you gotta get out of here with that shit. You gotta go. You can't be here with that. But you allowed them in. And now you got this chick, Amaraf or Amarmath or whatever her name is. I think she's a bomb-ass redhead. I think she look good. She got $70,000 off of you motherfuckers. Now think about you dudes in the manosphere. You dudes in the manosphere allow these women in every day. Now you mad because they get in the bag now. Oh, they played it smart. You just wasn't looking because you got into that place where you looking at the woman like, oh, she looks so good. I'm going to send her a super chat. I really want to get with her and da-da-da, this, that, and the third. You lost the plot, fam. You fucked up now. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say anything. And that's what's wrong. I said, if I ever lead an organization, which I inspire to, now that I think about it, if I want men to come together to have a powwow where we have a conversation and we do what we do, I'm sorry, ain't no women involved in this activity right now. See, the Brownstone powwow, anybody can pull up here. I don't care who you are. All is welcome. I don't care if you or any race, your gender, whatever. Just come through and have fun with me. You know what I'm saying? Let's fuck around. But on the real, when it comes to things, if you're advocating for a male-dominated space, make it so. Make it so. Make it so. Say, look, listen, we not doing panels on yada, yada, yada. You got to get up out of here with that. Or we not allowing, this is men talking right now. We don't allow you over here. Not for today. You know, come back another time. You know what I'm saying? Make that pretty much clear. But otherwise than that, man, I mean, I don't even know what else to really touch on. It's just a lot of stuff that, you know, this year was pretty funny, from, you know, seeing the super chats being a telltale sign about how these niggas really are. You know what I'm saying? Getting hyped off of a chick that sounds like she has an ASMR voice. Seeing about two of them. One of them used to be on my panel all the time. And I used to be like, yo, goddamn. I said, yo, bro, the girl that used to chill on my panel, she's not here. Why y'all keep mentioning this girl to me, bro? She's not here. Let it go. Like, why? Like, I had to deal with that shit. I had to deal with random ass dudes that wanted to beef with me. And then on top of that, besides that whole entire point, there was one more thing. There was one more thing. One more thing, y'all. It's just really amazing to see all that. From the super chats to all this, the arguments. Oh, subscriber supremacy. That's the last thing that I want to talk about. The subscriber supremacy. You see, I'm not one for making fun. I now notice this. I've humbled myself to it. But I'm not for one that makes fun of people of how many subscribers they have anymore. I think this is very, you know, it's very minuscule to like how I really feel, because it's not something that needs to be said. But again, this is 2022 in review for me. And my whole entire thing is, if you put in the work. You know, if you're doing it dirty style and you sitting up there buying subscribers, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't shit on anybody that put in the work. You got 1K before I did, or you got 100K, 20K. I'm not knocking it no more. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody is essential to how they work. Everybody has their own style of doing with things. YouTube is weird with algorithms sometimes. You know, for a couple of months, I thought I was shadow banned, so I don't know. But I definitely say that if going into 2023, I'm going to try my hardest not to snap on people about subscribers, bro. I'm not doing that no more. I think it's just corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their own essential eclectic style to how they work. You know what I'm saying? So who am I to sit up there and tease you for not having enough subscribers or this, that, and the third? I'm not taking that with me into 2023. Okay, 10 Vowels. What is the name of that gamer? If you can put that in the chat for me, because I found it funny. I'm Bronzebird, so of course I'm interested in knowing about a fellow bird when I know it. You know what I'm saying? Who's the gamer? Name the gamer for me in the chat. So I'm not doing the subscriber supremacy thing anymore. I'm not doing that. Otherwise than that, also I'm gonna say this as a heads up: try to keep y'all personal businesses offline, man. Stop getting into these reckless arguments because you might have had a dealing with somebody. You know, I understand that people exchange numbers off this site. You know, it's still an interactive social media platform. But, you know, to the men, don't get into personal dirty laundries back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that shit under wraps the best way you know how. Because a lot of this stuff is frivolous. You know what I mean? You know, all of this stuff can be taken away tomorrow. But, that's just mainly the thoughts of Bronzebird. Thank you for tuning into my TED Talks. And, you know, as I go into 2023, roll with me, deal with me, man. I want to see more of y'all come up to my channel. You know, when I got my panels going on, which I believe I might run another one for January 1st. I haven't decided yet. But I think I might run one for January 1st. But I I got a lot of things in planning. I'm thinking also about expanding Bronzebird to different platforms. Of course, taking myself to different platforms and just doing some more stuff, some never before seen videos, some new content, man. It's like some new reveals that I want to put out into the open. You know what I'm saying? Even deleted streams that I still got in my folder on my laptop that needs to, come out and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how it's going to be on certain platforms, if they're going to allow you to put it on there. Because I know it's one that I got flashed on one of my Brownstone powwows. So I don't know if they're going to allow it to be on there. But, who knows? You know what I'm saying? 2023. Hold on. 2023 going insane, bro. Absolutely. 2023 is going to be insane. And all I'm hoping to do is just level up, do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and keep on keeping on. But, to anybody that's out there, if you're a content creator and you want to, do content, or you're an inspiring content creator, I always got your back. You can always come see me. You can always just be like, yo, Bronzebird, I need your help. I want a promotion and all that other stuff. I got you. There's no hate in my blood. You know what I'm saying? I'm here so that everybody can win, even me. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man. That's all I really got to say, man. And, thank you again for tuning into my TED Talks. So before I get on out of here, I like to play my music and all that good shit. I'm going to go ahead and get my joint ready, man. All right? Yeah. Or you can also... I'm not giving you money without strings. Don't accept money. Well, I mean... It's a business, you know what I'm saying? I can't knock if it's business. You can also edit out the trolls from stream and re-upload. No, I know how to do the YouTube. I know how to do all that already. It's just that mine is already deleted. You know what I mean? And it's still, I was able to download it, but it's already deleted, so I can't get it back. You know what I mean? I can't do that. So, that's the whole entire thing on it. But, again, thank you for tuning in for the nice rendition of my TED Talks or the Brownstone Powwow. If you do celebrate New Year's, I will see you in the new year. If you don't celebrate New Year's, and I'll see your ass another day. I'll see your ass another day, y'all. But otherwise than that, thank you to everybody who listened. Thank you for those that's in the chat. Everybody that's bird watching and all that other stuff. Otherwise than that, stay tuned for the next Brownstone Powwow. And I like to play music before I get on out of here. So, peace! Yeah.